The government says it's optimistic about its credit ratings review. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley.
And good evening, I'm Charisma Robinson. Will the country's credit rating be downgraded? Well, government is hoping that does not happen as officials met with representatives from Moody'S Investor Service last week.
Now, the ratings agency has placed the Bahamas under review, citing its fiscal strength and continuing risk to the medium-term economic prospects, despite its financial consolidation program.
As government awaits that review, officials say their meetings were constructive and Moody'S now has a better understanding of the Bahamian economy. Here's Janine Ferguson.
State Minister for Finance Michael Halkitis believes Moody's representatives now have the information they need to build their assessment of the country's economy. He says there was some convincing to be done on the part of government and the private sector as they met with representatives from the credit rating agency, hoping to avoid another downgrade.
So we were able to sit with them and go over how we have progressed so far in this administration in terms of our consolidation plan and our plan to improve the government finances. We were able to answer their questions as it relates to the growth rate of the economy and our optimism of more growth given the pipeline of investment projects that we expect to come on stream over the course of this year and into next year and years going forward. So I think they left with a better understanding of how our economy operates.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, Gowan Bowe, represented the private sector at the meetings. He said although the credit rating agency was concerned about a slow growth rate, that doesn't mean that things are not happening to turn the economy around. He adds that the country needs to avoid a downgrade at all costs.
And so it means that every time we have to borrow to fill that deficit, then, the cost becomes higher. It means that more of the government budget is allocated to paying off debt and interest, which means it has reduced capacity to do other things. So it becomes a real catch-22 that is of concern. So from that perspective, what we don't want to get into is really being in a situation where we've not missed any debt payments, we've honored our obligations, and then to find that our cost of borrowing increases simply because we haven't done what I would call some of the structural initiatives as quickly as outsiders would like.
Now, Halkitis addressed a number of factors that led to the review for a downgrade, including the reduction of salt exports from Managua due to Hurricane Joaquin, the reduction of pharmaceuticals in Grand Bahama, and the stalled Bahama property.
In terms of Morton, they're now moving to restore those facilities, so going forward that capacity should be restored. In terms of pharmaceuticals, we have the major player in Grand Bahama actually expanding their operation. And in terms of Bahama, the imports, while they showed up on the books, those were a lot of mostly duty-free imports under the Hotels Encouragement Act. So we were able to go through that and answer any questions that they had, and we think it was a very constructive exchange.
Halkitis said they're expected to get the results of those meetings and the review of the Bahamas' economy within 2 months. Janine Ferguson, ZNS Network News.